Our first scene is a complex kitchen scene with many glossy surfaces. Here we are showing direct illumination from a single directional light which inadequately lights the scene. Next, we'll add indirect illumination using our algorithm with one bounce. Now we show the result of two bounce indirect illumination. Here again we switch between one and two bounces. Now we will display only illumination due to indirect lighting. Now we display the difference between straightforward bilateral and adaptive sampling. This shows the sample points calculated using adaptive sampling and straightforward bilateral sampling. Our next scene is a much simpler dining room scene. As before, we begin by showing direct illumination only. Next, we add indirect illumination using our algorithm with one bounce. Now we remove direct illumination and only show the results of indirect illumination. Then we add a second bounce which significantly brightens the scene. Now we show the difference in the scene when we remove and add glossy reflections. Next, we demonstrate the change in glossy reflections on the ball as the room cube rotates. And again after removing direct illumination. The materials in this next scene are glossy with no diffuse component. We will again start with direct illumination. Once again, we add indirect illumination using our algorithm, this time with two bounces. Here we show the difference between two bounces and one bounce. Here we switch between adaptive and straightforward bilateral sampling. Notice the difference in sample quality around the rim of the teapot. Next we see an apartment scene, here with direct illumination. And again we switch to direct plus indirect illumination. This shows the changes in a scene as a single light source is moved. Now we show the scene without and with glossy reflections. And again with only the indirect illumination. In this final scene, we start again with direct illumination only, and switch to direct with indirect illumination. Next, we show the scene with glossy reflections and without glossy reflections, and again showing only indirect illumination. Here we see the straightforward bilateral sampling, and now the adaptive sampling. Finally, we show direct illumination versus direct and indirect illumination one last time.